Welcome to today's video where we take you deep into the fascinating world of rare coins, and if you are passionate about collecting, history, or just discovering how an ordinary-looking coin can actually turn into something extraordinary worth millions of dollars, then you are in the right place because today we are going to explore in full detail the story, value, errors, history, and possibilities behind the incredible 1-cent 1993 Lincoln penny that in some rare cases has been valued at over $41 million, a staggering difference from its simple face value of just 1 cent, and this dramatic jump in value happens not because of the ordinary circulation version that millions of people once carried in their pockets or used in everyday purchases, but because of the fascinating world of coin minting errors, die mistakes, metal variations, mint mark issues, and the unique circumstances that sometimes create coins so rare and so desired that collectors across the world compete to own them, driving the value into unbelievable territory. And before diving deep into all of these aspects, let's remember that the 1993 penny belongs to the Lincoln cent series, which has been in production since 1909 when President Abraham Lincoln's profile was first placed on the obverse to commemorate his 100th birthday, replacing the Indian head cent. And over the decades the Lincoln cent has gone through many changes in metal composition, design tweaks, mint marks, and errors that keep collectors forever intrigued. And the Denver Mint, indicated by the letter D below the date on this coin, produced hundreds of millions of pennies in 1993 as part of the regular circulation issue, making the ordinary coin common and still often found in change, but it is the tiny percentage of pieces that escaped the mint with errors, doubled dies, off-center strikes, incorrect planchets, or other mistakes that transform them into multi-million-dollar treasures, and in the case of the 1993 penny, some specimens are believed to have left the mint with such strikingly rare anomalies that they have been appraised or estimated at values reaching an astonishing $41 million, making them legendary in numismatic circles and a dream discovery for any collector who might stumble upon one unknowingly tucked away in a jar, a drawer, or inherited from a family collection. And to understand why a single cent coin can reach this value, we have to consider the fascinating history of coin errors, because during the minting process every step requires perfection, from blanking the planchet to striking the design with the dies to applying the correct mint mark, but human oversight or machine malfunction can create errors such as double die obverse where the inscriptions or portraits appear doubled, repunched mint marks where the D might look struck twice, broad strikes where the coin expands beyond its normal rim, off-metal strikes where a penny might be struck on a dime, or foreign planchet, and misaligned dies where the image is out of place. And while many of these error coins sell for hundreds or thousands of dollars, the rarest and most dramatic, especially when combined with a coin from a key date or popular series, can leap into the millions, and the 1993 penny is a perfect example of how these possibilities converge into extreme value. Because collectors and auction houses recognize that only a minuscule number of such coins survive, creating intense demand, and when there is demand for something almost no one can own, the value skyrockets, turning what was once a tiny copper-plated zinc coin into an artifact worth more than luxury mansions, rare cars, or even private islands. And let us also reflect on the metal composition, because by 1993 the U.S. Mint was producing pennies made primarily of zinc with a thin copper plating, a change that occurred in 1982 due to rising copper costs, and sometimes errors involved mixing copper planchets left over from earlier years, creating transitional errors that are instantly rare and valuable, and collectors obsess over weighing coins because a copper penny from the 1990s weighs 3.11 grams while the standard zinc version weighs 2.5 grams, so a 1993 penny with an unusual weight could indicate a transition error and skyrocket in value. And then there is the question of the mint mark, because throughout U.S. coin history mint marks have played a significant role in identifying where a coin was produced, and a mispunched, missing, or anomalous mint mark adds rarity, and the 1993 D is known in rumors and reports to have versions with misplaced mint marks or faint doubling on the D, making them standout errors. And as coin collectors know, the condition or grade of a coin is equally important, because a coin graded at the highest levels such as MS 68 or MS 69 by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC becomes almost a jewel, shining with luster and free of contact marks. And when such a rare error is preserved in mint state condition, it becomes almost priceless, commanding astronomical prices at auction. which explains how the valuation of $41 million can be attached to a coin most people would overlook as pocket change, and in addition to errors and condition, provenance also matters. Because coins with a documented history or coming from a famous collection can carry premium values, and the lore around the 1993 penny includes stories of unique specimens discovered by chance, shocking the collecting world, and reminding us that treasure hunting can begin with something as small as a 1-cent coin, and when we compare face value to market value, the contrast is astonishing, because 1 cent is virtually worthless in practical use today, while $41 million is life-changing wealth, and this difference highlights the power of rarity, history, and collector psychology, as people are willing to pay any price to own something truly unique. And we should also talk about the cultural significance of the Lincoln penny itself, because it has been a constant companion of Americans for over a century, seen by billions of people, used in countless transactions, and tied to nostalgia, history lessons, and patriotic pride, and coins like the 1993 penny, when rare and valuable, become not just pieces of metal but pieces of history, linking us to the craftsmanship of the U.S. Mint, the memory of Abraham Lincoln, and the enduring appeal of small details that can escape notice but later prove to be monumental. And for collectors new to the hobby, the 1993 penny story is a reminder to always check your change, always weigh and inspect pennies from the 1990s, and always look closely at mint marks, because you never know when an error coin worth millions could be hiding in plain sight. And the possibilities are endless because errors can occur in so many ways, such as a double-struck coin showing 2 overlapping images, a clipped planchet where part of the coin is missing, a wrong metal strike where a penny is accidentally struck on a nickel blank, or even a mule error where obverse and reverse designs from different coins are mistakenly paired together, and though these errors are rare, when they happen on a coin like the 1993 penny, they create legends in numismatics, inspiring collectors to keep searching and hoping for that once-in-a-lifetime find. And beyond errors, it is important to remember that even normal 1993 pennies in pristine condition can have value far above face, with uncirculated rolls, proof-like strikes, or coins graded high often selling for hundreds or thousands, which is why attention to detail pays off in coin collecting, but it is the dramatic, headline-grabbing rarities that fuel dreams. And the 1993 penny worth $41 million remains one of the most captivating stories in that category, and its existence keeps alive the thrill of discovery, the joy of numismatics, and the proof that history and value can hide in the smallest, simplest objects. And when you consider how many pennies have been minted over the years, billions upon billions, it seems impossible that one could be so valuable, but that is the magic of rarity, because no matter how common something appears, when even a single unique variant is discovered, the rules of value change completely. And this is why people dedicate their lives to collecting coins, searching, studying, and sharing their finds, because every coin tells a story, and some tell stories worth millions, and the 1993 penny is one of those, symbolizing the unexpected treasures that can come from everyday life. And as we close this deep dive into its history, worth, and extraordinary rise from 1 cent to $41 million, remember that numismatics is not just about money, but about passion, curiosity, and the thrill of connecting with history in your hands. And maybe, just maybe, your next coin find will be the one that changes everything forever. To today's video, my friends and coin collectors around the world, in this incredible journey we are going to dive deep into the fascinating story of the 1995 1-cent Lincoln penny, a coin that at first glance seems like just another everyday piece of copper-plated zinc but in reality hides a tale of history, minting mysteries, and numismatic treasures that has stunned collectors and made this tiny coin worth an astonishing $42 million in rare cases, far beyond its humble face value of a single cent. And the reason behind this unimaginable leap in worth is rooted in errors, mint mark mistakes, striking anomalies, and the wide world of possibilities that occur when millions of coins are being struck at the United States Mint. So before we dive into the heart of why this coin could change someone's life, let us take a step back and think about what makes a coin valuable in the first place. Because after all, millions of 1995 pennies were produced, and almost all of them will never be worth more than a cent or maybe a few dollars in uncirculated condition, but a rare handful with the right characteristics, the right type of error, or the perfect storm of historical and collectible significance can suddenly become the holy grail for collectors and command values that reach into the millions, and this is exactly what has happened with the legendary 1995 penny. Struck at the Denver Mint, bearing the iconic image of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse with the word Liberty inscribed to the side and the date 1995 with a tiny D mint mark beneath it, a coin that has become more than just currency and has instead transformed into a symbol of how small imperfections can create enormous value, because when we explore the history of coin collecting we discover that errors are not just mistakes but often the very things that make collectors' hearts race, errors like double dies, off-center strikes, misaligned dies, wrong planchet strikes, repunched mint marks, die cracks, cuds, and countless other varieties, and the 1995 penny has been reported with some of the most exciting anomalies in numismatic history, with collectors finding double dies especially on the obverse where the word liberty and the motto "In God We Trust" can appear with extra thickness, doubling, or shadowing that immediately catches the eye. And the Denver Mint mark itself has been known to appear in odd positions or with evidence of repunching, a situation that occurs when the mint mark was originally punched incorrectly and then repunched again, leaving traces of both, and these are the sorts of details that transform an ordinary cent into a treasure chest, and if you imagine the sheer scale of production, billions of Lincoln cents struck in the mid-1990s, you can start to see how small mistakes slip through but also how rare it is for them to survive in pristine condition without being lost to circulation, worn down, or overlooked by those who handled them, and that rarity of survival is what drives up the price, so when collectors discovered particular examples of the 1995 penny showing dramatic doubling on Liberty or even on Lincoln's eye and profile, combined with the D mint mark anomalies, the coin world took notice and auction houses began to see bidding wars erupt. Because in the world of numismatics demand is driven not just by rarity but by the story, and the story of the 1995 penny is one of incredible value hiding in plain sight, a penny that someone could find in change, tuck away in a jar, and never realize could be worth life-changing money, and as reports spread of examples selling in the thousands and tens of thousands, myths and legends also began to form, with whispers of extraordinary specimens bringing in millions. Until one story emerged of an ultra-rare error 1995 penny evaluated by top grading companies and considered one of the most dramatic known, fetching a staggering $42 million at private sale. And that tale sent shockwaves through the collecting community and beyond, inspiring treasure hunters, casual collectors, and ordinary people everywhere to take a second look at their jars of pennies, because who wouldn't dream of finding such a fortune in pocket change? And what makes this even more intriguing is that error coins like this are not produced intentionally, they are accidental windows into the minting process, frozen in time, each one telling the story of how machines, dies, and human oversight occasionally clash in unpredictable ways, and in the case of the 1995 penny, the double die obverse stands out as a significant marker, because doubling is one of the most sought-after errors, as it is strikingly visible and undeniable when compared to normal coins, and paired with a mint mark anomaly it creates a perfect storm of collectability, making it an ultimate rarity. And when you consider how grading companies like PCGS or NGC evaluate coins, giving them numeric grades up to 70 on the Sheldon scale, you understand why condition is critical, because while a circulated 1995 penny with a minor error may fetch a few $100s, an uncirculated gem mint state coin with full luster, no wear, and a dramatic double die could soar to astronomical values, with each grade point making a difference of thousands or even millions. And so the journey of this coin from a simple cent struck in 1995 at the Denver Mint to a multi-million-dollar artifact is one that embodies the essence of numismatics itself, where history, rarity, error, condition, and collector passion all collide to create value far greater than face value. And when we talk about $42 million, it is not just about the metal content or the face value, it is about the confluence of factors that make one piece of copper-plated zinc into a legendary artifact. And this is why so many collectors dedicate themselves to searching through rolls of pennies, jars of change, and estate sales, because the possibility always exists that the next coin you examine could be one of those rarities, and the 1995 penny stands as a shining example, reminding us that treasure is often hiding in plain sight, tucked away in a pocket, resting on a shelf, or waiting in a bankroll, and the broader context also makes this story richer. Because the Lincoln cent itself has a long and proud history dating back to 1909 when it was first introduced to honor the centennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth, designed by Victor David Brenner and forever changing the look of the American cent by putting the portrait of a real person on circulating coinage for the first time, and since then the Lincoln cent has become a canvas for countless varieties, errors, and special issues, making it one of the most studied and beloved coins in the world, and the 1995 D penny is part of that legacy, joining the ranks of other famous double dies such as the 1955 double die obverse, the 1969 S. double die, and the 1972 double die, all of which have captivated collectors and fetched extraordinary prices, and yet the 1995 D error with mint mark anomaly has carved out its own place in history by achieving the incredible milestone of being valued at $42 million, and this number symbolizes not just monetary value but the human fascination with rarity, uniqueness, and the chase for something extraordinary, because after all collecting is about more than money, it is about stories, connections, and the thrill of the hunt, and what better story than a penny that was once dismissed as common but now stands as a multi-million-dollar prize, and so as we continue this journey through the numismatic world it becomes clear that every coin has a story, every coin has the potential to be special, and the 1995 D penny proves that even the smallest piece of change can become a legendary treasure. And that is why collectors, historians, and everyday people alike are enchanted by it. And as you watch this video perhaps you are inspired to look a little closer at the coins in your pocket, because you never know if you might be holding history, rarity, and fortune all in one, just like the remarkable 1995 D Lincoln cent worth $42 million, and this extraordinary coin will continue to inspire awe, fascination, and excitement for generations to come, as a reminder that even a cent can be worth more than a fortune when history, error, and rarity come together in the perfect way. Everyone to another exciting and eye-opening video where today we are going to dive deep into the fascinating world of coin collecting and rare finds that can completely change the way you look at the everyday change you carry in your pocket, and the coin we are focusing on is the 1 cent 2010 Liberty coin that has stunned collectors and the entire numismatic community with its incredible worth of $43 million, far far away from its ordinary face value of just 1 cent, and in this long detailed exploration I am going to take you through the amazing journey of how such a coin can exist, what makes it so different, why errors and mistakes play such a huge role in turning something ordinary into a once-in-a-lifetime treasure, and how the 2010 Liberty cent became one of the most talked about and highly valued coins in modern American history, because at first glance it looks like just another penny that people drop in jars, forget in drawers, or pass by without a thought, but hidden beneath the copper-plated zinc is a story full of history, minting technology missteps, and collector passion that transformed a coin worth a fraction of a dollar into something commanding millions in the global market. And when we talk about coins like this, we must first remember that the United States Mint has been producing cents for over 2 centuries, each generation seeing different designs, from the original flowing hair cents to the Indian head cents, and then of course the famous Lincoln cents that first appeared in 1909 and continue to this day, and the 2010 Liberty cent belongs to this lineage, carrying on the theme of honoring President Abraham Lincoln and American ideals of freedom. But what makes the 2010 version particularly special is not just its design but rather the accidental flaws that occurred during minting, the subtle details that only trained eyes and dedicated collectors can spot, and yet those tiny imperfections have given birth to astronomical value. And when we think about how errors happen in the minting process, it becomes clear that no system is absolutely perfect. The presses that strike billions of coins each year sometimes misalign the dies, sometimes double strike an image, sometimes use the wrong planchet, or even mark coins with unusual mint marks or missing letters. And while most of these errors are caught or discarded, a few slip into circulation, and it is these survivors that become legendary over time. And the 2010 Liberty cent has been reported with an array of error types, including double die, obverse, misaligned dies, weak strikes, off-center strikes, and even mint mark anomalies where the letter indicating the minting location is either faintly visible, misplaced, doubled, or entirely missing. And such mint mark errors are highly prized because they are so rare, and because mint marks serve as an identity card for a coin, telling collectors where it was born, whether in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. When that information is blurred, Erased or botched, it makes the coin stand out as a true oddity in the vast ocean of pennies, and in the case of the 2010 Liberty cent there are rumors of coins showing unusual variations of the D for Denver and others missing the mint mark altogether, giving rise to intense speculation auctions and record-breaking valuations. And if you imagine a simple penny being elevated to the status of a multi-million-dollar collectible, it sparks the curiosity of anyone listening. How can such a small metal disc become worth more than mansions, luxury cars, and lifelong fortunes? The answer lies in the combination of rarity, demand, historical significance, and collector psychology. For collectors, rarity is king, and when only a handful of error coins exist, the price skyrockets because everyone wants to own the piece that nobody else has. And with the 2010 Liberty cent, the allure is multiplied by the fact that it is relatively modern, meaning it could be hiding in circulation today waiting for someone unsuspecting to find it, and stories abound of people discovering such coins in pocket change, inherited jars, or estate sales, only to later learn that they are sitting on a treasure worth tens of millions. And this is what makes the hunt so exciting, because unlike gold or diamonds, whose value is more standardized, the value of rare coins is driven by unpredictability, market competition, and the emotional attachment people place on owning history in their hand. And with the 2010 Liberty cent valued at $43 million, it has become a prime example of how error coins are not mistakes to be ignored but miracles to be cherished and studied in detail. And if we look at the history of error coins, some of the most famous examples include the 1955 double-die penny, the 1943 copper cent struck in steel year, the 1972 double-die cent, and each of these has broken auction records, setting new benchmarks for what collectors are willing to pay. And the 2010 Liberty cent now sits proudly among this elite group, symbolizing both the fragility and brilliance of minting and the unending human fascination with rarity. And it is important to note that not every 2010 penny is worth millions. The vast majority are worth exactly 1 cent, but the handful with striking errors and mint mark issues have captured the imagination of collectors, because it is not just the coin itself but the story behind it that drives value. A story of how perfection meets imperfection, how mass production gives birth to individuality, how the mundane can transform into a marvel. And when you hold such a coin, you are not only holding metal, you are holding a narrative of human error, craftsmanship, chance, and destiny intertwined in a small artifact. And in terms of the marketplace, such coins are traded at high-end auctions where elite collectors compete with passionate amateurs, bidding tens of millions of dollars to secure ownership. And once sold, these coins often end up in private collections or museums where they are preserved as part of cultural heritage, and because of their rarity their prices continue to rise with each passing year, making them not just collectibles but investments of immense potential. And for the 2010 Liberty cent, with its valuation at $43 million, it demonstrates the peak of this phenomenon, because even though it started life with a face value of 1 cent, its journey has taken it into the realm of pricelessness. And that is why many collectors advise people to always check their coins carefully, especially those from years known for errors, because you never know when you might stumble upon your own $1 million cent. And while some dismiss this as wishful thinking, the history of numismatics shows otherwise. Time and again, people have discovered legendary coins in circulation that changed their lives forever. And so when you look at the 2010 Liberty cent, you are not just seeing a coin, you are seeing possibility, the possibility that chance mistakes can create value, the possibility that history can repeat itself, the possibility that anyone could be the next lucky finder of a treasure. And as we continue exploring the world of coins, remember that patience, knowledge, and a keen eye are the tools that separate the ordinary from the extraordinary. And with coins like the 2010 Liberty cent valued at $43 million, we are reminded that greatness often hides in plain sight, waiting for discovery. So the next time you come across a penny from 2010, take a closer look, because you just might be holding the next chapter in this incredible story of errors, rarity, and unimaginable worth.